David Price is set to return to the ring on July 27th in Bolton, and he says he's still very much interested in a Tyson Fury fight. He says that he's spoken to Fury about it, and he's not sure that Fury would actually take this fight because of the risk-reward factor not being very favorable. He can punch, and that always makes him dangerous. But what would Tyson Fury actually get out of beating David Price? Would he get a lot of credit? Not really. It might do a decent amount of tickets because of the fact that David Price is a name and this is a rivalry and a fight that goes back several years. Or, yeah, a rivalry and a fight people have wanted to see, which goes back several years. So it might do a decent number of tickets. It might do decent viewing figures on BT Sport. But in terms of the credit, in terms of ranking and stuff like that, Tyson Fury probably wouldn't get much from it. And that's what David Price is saying here. He says he understands basically that Tyson Fury don't stand to gain much by fighting him or beating him. So at this point in time, it looks unlikely that David Price will fight Tyson Fury. But we wait to see. I'd certainly like to see it at this point in time. I think it is the perfect time to have the fight, and that's what David Price says in this particular interview. Because Fury's coming back from being grossly overweight and inactivity and what have you, and David Price is coming back from his, fifth career defeat, which was a devastating knockout at the hands of Povetkin. So, yeah, both guys are on the comeback trail. It makes sense for them to have a crossroads fight right now. But we'll see if Tyson Fury wants to take that risk. David Price is definitely up for it. We know that. He says it. And he's looking for this fight if he can possibly get it. So, and one last thing as well is some people have talked about David Price's height in relation to Tyson Fury. And every time I've seen them in pictures together, David Price either appears taller than Fury or they appear around the same height. Now, Fury, this is when Fury was very, very heavy. He's not as heavy as this now. And indeed, being overweight can actually reduce your height a little bit because it puts pressure on your spine and you tend to stand up as straight when you're heavy. So that might take an inch off, especially someone who's as tall as Tyson Fury. It might take an inch, maybe an inch and a half off your height being so overweight. But nonetheless, even in Fury's last fight against Sefer Safiri, BT had him listed at 6'8", I think, because for the longest Tyson Fury's been saying he's 6'9", whereas BT had him listed as 6'8". Even that might be slightly over what he actually is. Maybe he's around 6'7.5" or something like that. Who knows? A lot of these fighters do exaggerate their heights. That's one thing I know for a fact. And you really wonder why, because they're such big men anyway. Why would a guy who's, 6'7", 6'8", need to exaggerate his height? I have no idea, but it's something that is commonly practiced. Whereas David Price actually seems to be a legit 6'8". Anyway, let me know how you feel about this potential fight in the comments. Do you think there's any legs in this at all? Is it something you'd like to see? Does David Price have a better chance than a lot of people realize? Let me know how you feel in the comment section, people. It's Hatman, I'm out.